Hello, Cancer. This is your yearly prediction for 2016, the entire 12 months. The cards have been pre-shuffled and cleared with my amethyst, my stone for psychic power. So I'm going to shuffle for just like a few seconds more, for another minute. So, Cancer. I have a friend who just had a baby, by the way, who's a Cancer. And so it'll be interesting to see if I put these cards out, if certain cards like Page of Cups or the Empress or Ace of Cups shows up. Empress is the mother card. It's the mother, it's the symbol of fertility, giving birth. Page of Cups can also mean pregnancy as well, and new beginnings. So it'll be interesting to see how much the cards reflect this baby in her life. Whoa. Okay, so you have 4 cards that came out. The first one is 8 of Cups. The next one is 4 of Wands reversed. Now it showed up sideways, but I don't know. It seems to be leaning more towards this way. I'm going to leave this. I think when cards fall out, the best thing to do is just leave them upright. This is 7 of Swords. And then this is Page of Swords. Okay, that is interesting. First 3 months. Happy home. Then we have 8 of Cups. Seeking, leaving certain things behind. 7 of Swords. This is the card of secrets, dishonesty. Okay. So yeah, knowing what my friend is going through. When I have friends who are a particular sign, it's always, I'm looking at, well, how does this apply to their life? Especially if it's my sign. So I try to just keep it open-minded and not just say, oh, this has a lot to do with them. I'm reading for all Cancers. The ones who are born at the end of June, the ones who are born first week of June. All of you have different energies, depending on where in the month or your sun sign you were born. So, well, this is Knight of Cups. Okay, so that's a water sign. That could be applying to you, Cancer. That could be you. And so as I do this reading for the entire year, try not to look at this reading saying, oh, my year is going to be crappy, or is my year going to be wonderful? Am I going to win the lottery? The tarot is not simple. I think getting wisdom from the tarot, it's beyond a yes or a no. Many times the why behind a yes or no is very important. The tarot reveals obstacles. The tarot can sort of provide inner wisdom and guidance about certain things that you may need to address for you, your own energy. What are you doing? What decisions you're making in your life? And so you definitely should take this yearly reading in that spirit versus, oh, something bad's going to happen to me. I think the purpose of this reading for 2016 is to give you some insight and wisdom primarily for you and your energies and your decisions and what you might need to do or change for 2016. So try not to see this as all bad or all good. It's not black and white with tarot. Okay. I think I'm going to cut the cards, but you know, sometimes shuffling the cards is so relaxing and it kind of gets me ready to read. Okay. Okay, so the next card is King of Cups. So, Cancer, interesting that around your birthday, all this water is coming out. Then we have Three of Pentacles. So far, no reversals. We have Four of Swords in reverse. I'm kind of seeing like here, I'm seeing a very busy work life and you not taking time out to take care of yourself as you head into August. We have King of Swords in reverse, and this is opposite this King of Cups. I wonder what's that about. They're doing battle. We have Temperance. We have Five of Pentacles reverse. That's a good thing. Then we have the World. Ooh, that's a perfect card because the World is the last card in the major arcana. I will not be pulling outcome cards. I think each of the 12 cards here have more than enough messages for outcomes and energies. Now, another thing I want to emphasize here as I get started is that, you know, these energies work in layers. I feel like when I'm reading this, these energies work in layers. So the energy of this Eight of Cups here in January, it's not just about, oh, that's just for January. Whatever decisions or actions are made in January, obviously they're going to have an effect for the rest of the year. Okay, so these cards should be looked at not just one thing, one incident that's happening in the month. These are giving like little layers and clues and hints about your general life throughout this year, and they work together and they flow into each other. And once again, it gives insight because obviously all of you cancers are going through different things. I don't know why I'm still shuffling the cards. I'm just psychically thinking, I think. But some of you are single, some of you are married, some of you are dating. So when I try to look at general energies, for instance, January, there might be leaving something behind, you know. And January is usually that month where people make New Year's resolutions, in with the old, in with the new, out with the old. And so that could definitely refer to a huge decision that's going to be made of what you need to leave behind. It could be a job. Um, Maybe you need more simplicity in your life and you have to leave a job that you might like because you need, you know, you might need to stay at home. I'm thinking of my friend who just had the baby. Okay, so Cancer. Um, what I'm seeing here for you at the beginning of the year is out with the old, in with the new, basically. There are going to be some decisions on your part. And remember, cups are your element. Cups represent water and your water sign. So you know, you're going to be making a very emotional decision, um, because your life will be going through some changes in January. This has a lot to do with your happiness and satisfaction here. And the Four of Wands certainly represents a celebration. And this is taking place in February. And the Four of Wands can mean a happy home, a partnership, it can be a marriage, it can mean celebration over obstacles, freedom, um, just overcoming something very difficult and just being happy. And that's in February would be a great month for that to happen, of course, knowing that it's Valentine's Day. Now in March, you do have this Seven of Swords, and this is a card of secrets, and it can mean dishonesty or cheating. Um, and in some cases, in some interpretations of this card, it can also mean looking out for yourself. I've read interpretations where it means doing research, doing something in secret where maybe you're working at a job you're not happy and you're looking for another job and you're trying to fit things together here. Um, but it could also mean that someone is not being honest with you and not telling you everything. This doesn't have to be a partner. It could be a close friend. It could be something that you're not aware of either. But for some reason, the vibe I'm getting from this card is you keeping some type of personal business or agenda to yourself. Secret agendas, secret plans, um, in the month of March. Heading into April, May, and June, as we head into your birthday, which will be July right here, lots of water. And the interesting thing is, with this Knight of Cups and King of Cups, I'm not sure which one is you, Cancer. But this Page of Swords, this is a card that means a message giving you important information, alerting you to the truth. So I think it's interesting that, yeah, this could be someone who's keeping information from you here in March. Someone is keeping a secret or something you don't know. And then Page of Swords, whatever it is that you do not know from April, you're going to find out. What you don't know in March, you're going to find out in April. Okay? And keep in mind that the Seven of Swords, it's something that might even be all the way back to January or 2015. But this information, it's going to be an issue of you finding out something you don't know. And the first thing I thought of, the first thing I said with the Seven of Swords was a job situation. But seeing that we have this Knight of Cups and King of Cups, it could also mean that we're dealing with a relationship issue, that there's an important truth or important information. Page of Swords can also mean a delay. Um, Things might be held up. Plans that you were making in March might be held up in April. And you get news that, oh, whatever it is that you wanted to move forward on, you might need to put that on the back burner. But this could definitely be applying also going into May and June, relationship issues. And I don't necessarily see an issue here, at least not between the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. It seems as if, we have a knight who's in service to the king. The knight acts on behalf of the king. The king is a ruler, he's the dominant energy. He decides, he makes the decisions. He expresses himself outward. Um, he has control or mastery over external circumstances, jobs, relationships. And this night is about action. I think Cancer, what this means, because the Knight and the King are close together, I think the Knight might represent you. Because it's interesting that we have this King of Swords jumping ahead to September. It's interesting that we have this King of Swords in reverse that flips over. It's almost like a mirror image of the King of Cups, to where you have this King of Swords who all of a sudden might be having issues with communication, becomes defensive, judgmental. I'll get back to that. But I'm not seeing this Knight of Cups and King of Cups. I think it represents for you at this time of the year. It could even represent you as a knight taking action on something within a relationship. Or maybe this baby, I'm still thinking of my friend. And now you're turning into a King of Cups here. You're gaining mastery, not only with your emotions, but your relationships, your emotional well-being, how you react to things, because Cancer, it is possible that you can let things get to you emotionally and you can get stressed out, um, especially with all this going on with these swords over here. So I think that this is your changing energy with the water happening here. But it could very well be you and another person. I definitely think you're in here somewhere as we head into the first 6 months of the year. You adjusting, you having a celebration, you having agendas and plans that maybe family and everyone wants to get into your business. And then you, Cancer, are like, well, I need to look out for myself here. Making other plans, making other considerations. What I have a feeling that this Seven of Swords has a lot to do with what you left behind here. What was changed, this big change in January, I think it has a huge effect. I think the Seven of Swords is an effect of what happened here in January with this huge emotional decision. And maybe you're still thinking about it, and maybe you're still trying to get your emotional balance here, and you're not necessarily letting everybody in on this. But I think that it definitely has a lot to do with maybe things that you hope are going to work out, but they end up not working out. I mean, okay. But yeah, your plans might be delayed, but there is going to be important information or an important realization that will be coming to you around the month of April. And then heading into May, this Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a dreamer. The Knight of Cups is connected to intuition. The Knight of Cups is obviously led by feelings and acts on feelings. You're not the type of person that if someone crosses you, um, you can definitely, you won't forget that for quite a while. We head into this King of Cups to where the first half of the year you seem to get mastery, that maybe you've gone through so many ups and downs from March to April. By the time June arrives for your birthday, because the last week in June could very well be a birthday week for some of you Cancers. I think you're going to sort of get some stability and get things under control with all these changes and delays that have happened in the first part of the year. That's what I'm picking up. Next half of the year, So in July, um, we have the Three of Pentacles. And once again, I am picking up strong career and money issues. That the Three of Pentacles is about learning and education and teaching. You could be in a teaching position for some of you Cancers. This is also a card of collaboration and partnership and people working together. So whatever it is you were working out earlier with this Four of Wands, you're going to get your partnership mojo working together. And it also means that this Four of Swords heading into August is reversed. Now, Four of Swords is a card of taking a break and healing. Um, just taking some time off. Um, Retreating from an emotional situation. Maybe there's something that's mentally or psychologically weighing you down, and you're just like, I need to step away from this. Well, in August, you're not going to be stepping away from it anymore. And it could very well be that there's, I think that you're going to be very busy. I think that you're going to be in the thick of things because the opposite of this energy of resting, because if you look at this picture, this card is actually, it seems as if it's in some sort of chapel, or I just forgot what it's called, sort of like a tomb where graves are. I just forgot that. But there's not going to be a lot of rest. You're going to be in the thick of it, I think. You're going to be juggling and handling a lot of things. So I think that this means a new job, a new teaching opportunity, a new partnership or collaboration that will happen for you. This delay, if this is a career reading for some of you Cancers, this delay, whatever it is, if it's a delay with a job opportunity, it's the delay will stop. Maybe this job will come to you. Okay. Um, Also, because this also follows all these strong water energies as well, this is your element. I think that there could be stronger partnerships with you, stronger relationships with your partner, your marriage, your family. And so that's why I think you're going to be very busy. Um, that you're not going to retreat from anyone anymore, that you're just going to go ahead and start, um, you've taken the time you've needed, and now you're going to get back in the saddle. Having said that, let's return to this King of Swords. And so we get a vindictive, judgmental man. And this energy could reflect another person. I think this is another person. It doesn't have to be a relationship. This could be someone that you encounter in your job. Another family member could represent your father, maybe even your mother. When this King of Swords is upright, it usually means a very intellectual, wise man. As far as careers, it can represent a lawyer, professor, anyone who is scholarly or intellectual, engages in the rhetorical professions, arguments. The king wins arguments. But when this is reversed, there could be a lot of, it could represent someone who's going to be very defensive, very judgmental, very argumentative, very manipulative. This is an energy that might be coming um, in September. But it seems as if this effect, or whatever's going on with this King of Swords in reverse, it's not going to have a far-reaching effect, because in October, Cancer, you have this Temperance card. Now, I'm checking carefully because I was missing some major arcana in my December readings, and I'm pretty sure I only see two, Temperance in the World. Temperance is a good card because once again, this is all about water for you. And you actually have these two cups. You see the angel, um, and you see this little triangle here. Oops, 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 oops. The triangle on the robe, it means change. This represents delta, the symbol delta, which represents change. And the angel is balancing water. He's pouring water from one cup to another. Equal give and take. There's no one there's no one person doing all the giving or one person doing all the taking. Or if your life has become chaotic and that just might be happening for you during the summer, it seems as if, Cancer, you are going to find some balance here. You know, one foot is in the water, one foot is on the ground. So, Cancer, even though you can be very emotional, I think this energy from the King of Cups and Knight of Cups, I think that you're going to really find, after everything that you've gone through in this year, you're going to find stability here. You're going to be able to manage people and all the other things going on in your life. And the theme that seems to be emerging are dealing with these huge changes and keeping your emotional balance, not retreating, as we see in this Four of Swords, where we're no longer retreating, we're actually, we've healed. And but it can also mean that you're not giving yourself a rest. But I kind of see this as you having been retreating or in your own little world and being just stepping away from things for a while. And now you're heading into, real life again, or taking on certain things, certain projects, certain relationships. And so temperance is a very good energy for you heading into October. In November, this is also important for you because this Four of Swords, we're no longer retreating alone. We're not in this emotional uh, hibernation. Well, this Five of Pentacles, um, it can mean poverty. It can mean a loss, dealing with a loss. It can also mean feeling alienated, that you're not getting the support that you need. That energy is going to be reversed for you in November. You are going to get support. You are going to get help. And Cancer, sometimes asking for help might be difficult for you. You have your pride. But it definitely means that you're going to have a support system in place. But you're also not walking past the people who are trying to help you or the resources that you need to help you keep your balance. So that is a good sign. And so by the time we get to December, this is such a perfect card for you, Cancer, because now the world is the closing of a new cycle. The world is, you're inheriting the world. The world is yours at the end of the year. You know, all the negotiations and celebrations and, negotiating and balance and all of this negative energy, whoever's making things difficult or being argumentative, you're going to find your nice little sweet spot emotionally. But it also seems as if throughout the year, the things that you've been doing throughout the year, moving forward with some things and leaving things behind, it's going to turn out successfully for you. And I think you're going to end up starting that new cycle because in January, there's a leaving behind to seek out spiritual answers here. You're making that emotional decision. And it seems like you will be heading in the right direction. So wherever this journey was taking you with this Eight of Cups, this is where you're going to end up, which is really good for you. And so, yeah, there might be some little obstacles here, um, that in the middle of the year, especially with this King of Swords reversed, this argumentation or having to negotiate or deal with judgments. It could be your energy. Maybe you are being judgmental or putting up your defenses because this is opposite of King of Cups. It's mirroring the King of Cups. But I think that from this King of Swords heading into this King of Swords in August to this Temperance in October, King of Swords in September into Temperance in October, obviously I think you're going to get a grip on things. It seems like you're going to have some emotional ups and downs. And there are going to be people who disappoint you. But you're going to not back off, as the Four of Swords and Five of Pentacles indicates. I think communication is going to be key, and I think you're going to figure a way around that. I think Page of Swords, as I said before, Page of Swords indicates communication, and I think that this could definitely be something that will become important for you when you get into April. Okay, so Cancer, that was your reading for 2016. And of course, if you want more insight for you, um, because January readings will be coming up in another week or so, feel free to contact me. My information is in the description. Thanks to everybody who's contacted me for readings. And subscribe to my channel. And I'm hoping you have a wonderful holiday season so far. I wish you the best new year ever. And I will see you in a couple of weeks with your January 2016 tarot reading. So take care. Love and light to you.